Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Two Men Outside of Four Flowers. I'm your host, Rob Oswald, and today I'm going to be interviewing a professor of English from Oxford University. Please welcome Todd Benson. I must say that it is a pleasure to be here, although I haven't watched many of the shows. Thank you for having me, though. It's great. It's really great to be here. So you're from England, right? Yes, I am. I was born in London, and I was raised there through primary and secondary school, and eventually I went up to college at the University of Oxford. I stayed there for quite a while. I became a teacher's assistant, and worked my way up through there. Then I went on to get my PhD in English, and now I'm a professor. So you're rich. I would say I make a good living, but I don't know how that's. So how's your love life? Oh, whoa. That's I'm sorry. How is this related to the interview? I thought we were talking about revising and editing. Huh? No cards? Where? Underneath? Oh. So we have some questions from the audience. Well, a question. Is there a difference between revising and editing? And if so, what's the difference? That's a great question to whoever asked it. A lot of people grow up thinking that revising and editing, they're interchangeable, that they're two words that pretty much have the same meaning. But in all reality, though, they're not. They're actually two different things, and they all have different traits about them. So revising, to start with, takes place after peer review. Typically, most people will do peer review, and then they'll go on to revising after they've received comments and feedback from whoever it was that they were getting feedback from. Revising is, think about it as big picture stuff. Big picture, so if you have your paper, you know the prompt, and you wrote the essay, I don't know, just the night before. From there, basically what you would do is you would look over your essay and go from there, look at all the things, and whatever is not necessary in your essay, if something is probably, since you wrote it the night before, some things will typically be 10%, 30% relevant to the topic. You were just trying to write stuff and put it in there to add words or make a paragraph or something. So go in there, look for those things, take it out, get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Oh, are you playing with the bunny? Continue. Right. Uh, Going back, yes. Take whatever it is out and just focus on the prompt. Typically, you'll go back through your paper, look at your thesis, whatever you wrote. If your thesis isn't that strong in relation to your prompt, now you want to add to your thesis. Typically, you're going to want three things that will emphasize your thesis, and those will pretty much be your three body paragraphs if that's what you're typically doing. And from there, let's say you have everything, it's written out nice and perfectly. This is a different example. Everything's written nice and perfectly, it seems pretty good. Now you want to go in and look at it. Even though it's revision, you received peer review feedback, and they might say, oh, your paper is pretty much fine. It's not fine. Trust me, there's always work that could be done to make it better. And if it seems fine at the moment, do whatever you can to make it better. So go in there, look at things. If there's some things that you can change, if there's some things you can add, maybe in the moment you weren't just thinking about something, instead go in there and actually add something in there that highlights a topic that you were thinking about, or add any other details that might emphasize your topic and make it stronger. Those are typically the things that you want to do in terms of revising. Revising is all big picture stuff. You're trying to change your narrative. If you can change your narrative, do it. If you can make your narrative even better, do it. Whatever it is, you want to try and strive for that A+. And if things are lacking a little bit, maybe you're on the smaller end, small things can come in good packages. Small things come in good packages. So even if it's small, it could be a grade A paper. Just be advised of the word count if there is one. And yeah, that's typically all it is for revising. So just to go back over, revising is big picture, taking out, eliminating unnecessary topics, adding extra details, extra paragraphs, anything to emphasize or highlight the topic that you were talking about, and trying to change that narrative. Do whatever it is possible. Is he sleeping? Does this happen? Wake up! Costa Rica, what? Sorry about that. Please go on. Okay, editing. Back where we left off. Now we're going into editing. So editing is small picture. Think of it as small picture. After you've done your revising, now you're going back in. Typically, you want to get it proofread again, just to see if things are making sense, if you've improved, or if things took a turn in the negative direction. Typically, you don't want that, obviously, but sometimes after revision, you think, oh, this might be extra details, or this might be something else that was needed in the paragraphs, when really it wasn't. So go back, get it proofread, and then once it's all proofread and your teacher, your professor, your friends, whatever thinks it's fine, then keep going and just edit it now. And edit is, again, small picture stuff. This is what you're going to do before you actually submit your documents, your papers, narratives, whatever it is. Go in there, check, and this is, again, small picture stuff. Find small words in there. If you're using 10-point words, as we would like to say, I know some people grew up learning you have 10-point words and 100-point words. Go in there, find those 10-point words, and make them 100-point words. It's not that hard to go on Google and look up a encyclopedia, thesaurus, dictionary, anything to look up synonyms, antonyms, anything that will, turn an A- into an A+. That's what you want to do. The same thing, maybe there's just a teeny tiny sentence that doesn't make any sense, or maybe it just shouldn't be there. Just get rid of it. And the same thing, now you're looking over grammar. Focus on grammar. and punctuation. Make sure everything is used correctly. Make sure you're using commas in the right places. If you're choosing to use semicolons or colons, make sure you're actually properly using them. I know they can get confusing. If you want to take a look at my other interviews with semicolons and colons, how to tell the difference and where to use them, be sure to look at any of my other interviews. But going back, again, just make sure you're looking over your grammar and punctuation so everything flows correctly, and then you actually get those points for grammar and punctuation, correct all of that stuff. That's pretty much it for editing. So now you could see the differences between revising and editing, that there is a difference. One of them's big picture, the other one's small picture. And what you specifically do in that makes the difference. And then, editing, once you finish editing, this is pretty much the time your paper is finalized, and then you can go in there and submit it on Turnitin, Web Campus, whatever it is that you guys use. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Doing lift, bruh. You know what? I've just about had it. Wait. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Rob Oswald.